Keith, and tonight we're going to talk about Poltergeist 2015. This is a remake, and you got to be wondering, why are we remaking such a classic and original movie? I was like 9 years old when this originally came out, and this was a extremely scary movie. I think probably one of the most scary things about it was that little old lady played by Zelda Rubinstein, and she was Tangina Barons. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I can't even remember. But in my mind as a kid, this was a really scary movie. So I said, all right, let's go in. Let's check this out. I didn't even know it was coming out. I basically saw it. I said, let's saddle up and go see it. So in this, we have Eric Bowen, who's played by Sam Rockwell, was a recently laid-off dad who moves his family to the suburbs, and his wife, Amy, who's played by Rosemary DeWitt, have 3 kids. The oldest is Kendra, played by Saxon Sharbino, and they have a sort of scared son, Griffin, who's played by Catlett, and then they have the adorable Maddie, played by Kennedi Clements, and she was really adorable. I'll say that the casting for all of those people was really pretty good. It wasn't bad. Sam Rockwell plays a very nonchalant type dad, and I could even hear myself, kind of saying, yeah, there's nothing to worry about here. It's all good. I can kind of hear that dad voice where you have a kid who's just scared of something, and you're saying, don't be worried about it. And he did it effectively. He was probably a standout in this movie. Where it kind of slips a little bit in the casting was, and maybe not so much the casting. Jared Harris is a good actor, but I think what he was working with the Kerrigan Burke role, he kind of plays like Patrick Ramsey, and you feel like it's an assisted reality TV show dude. And it just, along with the fact that there was a lot of comedy from Sam Rockwell in his role with Amy, which was kind of good, it just never gave you the tension that you had in that first movie. A secondary problem with it is that the movie, I almost hate to say this, but this movie felt rushed. It felt like you were moving through it very quickly. It was sort of like hitting all the high points of stuff I remembered as a kid in the movie, kind of stuck with it. But coming in at just over 90 minutes, I think at 93 minutes, it seemed like they moved very quickly. Now, that wasn't such a bad thing because I didn't really want more of what they did. But I think from a story perspective that they didn't build enough tension. They didn't round out the characters quite enough. They kept it a little too tongue-in-cheeky with Sam Rockwell and Rosemary DeWitt. They they didn't quite build the tension. The first one, of course, I was much younger, but I still think, by all counts, that was a much scarier movie originally. This didn't feel that way. It never got quite to that point for myself. There was only there was 2 instances, and this is always a pet peeve in horror movies. I am absolutely sick of I'm walking up behind you and scaring you. There was 2 instances of in this movie. I am making a plea to all horror movie directors and writers. Stop writing this into the script, because I groan every time I see it. It's unoriginal. I know that there's an homage thing there, but it's just horrible. As soon as I see it, it's a gimmick, and I don't like those emotional gimmicks in the movie. Write a better script. Do something original, especially if you're making a remake. They could have done so much with it, but even that, it wasn't a horrible movie. One of the things is with it being a remake, you have high expectations. The original was fantastic. You're going back to recreate the original, so you better bring something heavy-hitting. At the end of the day, not a horrible movie, but nowhere close to the original. If you're making a remake and you've got nothing else to say except it wasn't horrible, that's not the greatest thing in the world. I don't think you're relaunching the franchise here. I hope they don't make a second one of these. This was it. Don't do it again. I give it a C at the end of the day. go to moviescigarsandabrew.com and give me a like. And you know what? There's going to be some more stuff coming up. Lots of movies coming out. We're coming into a big summer movie season, so stay tuned. There's going to be more reviews.